Okay, like I was saying, welcome. We'll go over just a couple housekeeping things here while we get started. We do request that kindly, if you are not sharing, that you just stay on mute so we can hear the people who are speaking. Otherwise, if you have any questions, obviously feel free to come off mute. Also, please feel free to use the chat. Secondly, as we get started here today, this is a really great session and a great time to be able to be together. So if you have the bandwidth and the ability, just out of respect for our presenters and really just each other, we would love for you to have your cameras on. We absolutely understand if you can't as well. We know that sometimes you're on the go or just listening in, but if you have the ability, that would be wonderful. And lastly, as you may have seen when you joined the room, we are recording the call today. And just give it a couple seconds here. We have people joining us. Welcome. And as we really get started today, I do want to take a minute to welcome everyone. And by welcoming everyone, I want to welcome all voices, all perspectives, and all experiences. At WIA, we are a rich, diverse community from locations all around the world. And we welcome and respect all backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs. We really do aim to create a space here today and anytime we're all together to have a comfortable space where any thoughts or questions are welcome, and you feel free to share, and everyone is included. So please bring your whole self to the conversation today and feel comfortable being with us. And with that, I would love to hand it over to Athena as we get started.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I want to welcome you to our Global Ignite session. Some of you may have been here at our first one with Rangina Hamidi. And today we have the great honor and pleasure to have Kristi Nelson with us. Some of you may have seen her last year. Some of you may have read her book. And whether you have seen her or heard about her or not, I know you're going to have a delightful time with her today. I want to just share her book. It's called Wake Up Grateful. It's her first book. And if you have not already read it, I think by the end of our time together, you're going to want to rush out and buy a copy and read it. It's such a soulful book, such an invitation to live a grateful life. Today, Kristi is joining us for the second time. As I mentioned, she was with us last year at about the same time. And today she's going to have a little different focus, which is really going to be about talking about values and how when we really deeply appreciate the places, the things, and the people in our lives, how much more fulfilled our lives are, how much fuller our hearts are. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Kristi has been a nonprofit leader for the last, I think it's about 30 years now. So she's one of our sisters. She's in our space of the nonprofit world, the social impact world, and really a world that is full of spirit and soul. And it's my absolute delight to have you with us today, Kristi. Thank you for joining us. And I'm just so looking forward to having this rich conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Athena and Amber. And I also want to thank Jane, who's not here, but who was one of the original contacts who brought me in and helped introduce me to your beautiful work. And just to the whole Women's Impact Alliance, just very grateful for all of who you are and what you do. And hopefully we can have a rich conversation afterwards, because I'm going to introduce some things that will be, if you watched last year, some things that will seem familiar around gratitude and gratefulness, and some things that will be a little bit new. So how I want to start today is just by welcoming you and saying hi and thanks for being here. And I'd love for each of us to just take a few minutes to arrive. We're actually going to do a couple of short meditations through this session. And that feels important to me in terms of everything that this work and being grateful stands for. It's about being present and fully present. So I don't know, Amber, if you want to let people be, if you want to do the pin me on the screen just so that people can be more private, because I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and just arrive and guide you in a short meditation just to be here. And it's always a privilege, I think, in life to get to pause. Pausing is a beautiful blessing. And I'm going to ask you just to feel yourself be here. And how we're going to start today is just by feeling yourself planted where you are, in the seat that you are, in the moment that you are, in this place that you are. And recognize that so much has to happen in order for each of us to gather here. So many people's support and love and inspiration have allowed us to be here right in this moment, to be here together in this purpose, in this place. And it's important that we acknowledge the love and support that has brought us here and allowed us to be here today. So all of the mountains that had to get moved, all of the forces that had to be in place, all of the things that had to happen, right? Maybe we start today just by bringing to mind and bringing to heart a few of the people who you appreciate right now for making it possible for you to be here. To whom do you want to offer your thanks for this opportunity? And the invitation is also not to forget yourself. So arriving in your body and your breath, just to be here. And maybe take just a moment and reflect on one or two people you might want to acknowledge whose support allowed you to be here today, and put that into chat if you're so moved, so that we can have our chat up and people and just share as a way of arriving here fully. Just naming, because giving thanks for the people who help us to live the lives that we have is a really powerful practice. So thank you to everyone who wants to show up in this way. It's a great way to start every day, actually. One of the things that's a beautiful practice is just to take into account as you start each day, who are the people responsible for your being here and able to live the life that you live. And it's a humbling, it's a beautiful, deep humility practice. And I will start just by sharing a little bit about, for me, who I feel grateful for. Thank you. I owe my life, it feels to me, to my mother who died just a few years ago. And I feel this deep sense of gratitude for her and all of what she inspired me to be and do. And many of you know that I have a cancer journey that is a powerful ability for me to be here. The fact that I had the doctors that I had, the fact that I had the surgeon that I had, the fact that I had the love and support and parents that I had, the family, the siblings, the friends, the love that pulled me through, the medicines that allowed me to be here, the hospitals that were working, all of the things, if we can just kind of imagine, what is it to live gratefully for all the things that allow us to be here? So I am a student of gratefulness. I'm a student of grateful living. And sometimes I get to be a teacher. I'm a very humble teacher because I think that to live our lives gratefully is one of the most powerful and important opportunities in our lives, to not miss the chance to really fully be here with reverence, with appreciation. And yet it's also an incredible challenge. And so it's a practice, and my life is this practice of moment to moment learning to live gratefully and learning to stay grateful in the midst of really difficult things, because it's what allows me to honor life. It's what allows me to honor all of the people who have come before me. It's what allows me to honor all of the forces that are in service of life for all of us right now, which is absolutely extraordinary. And it's a privilege. And so for me, staying grateful, it's like a spiritual muscle. It's a spiritual musculature for me. It's a way of holding perspective that not everybody gets to be here right now to experience what it is that I'm experiencing. Not everybody who wanted to be alive today is here today, who I love. And we need these kinds of practices to help us remember all of what it is that it means to be alive. And when we can stay grateful, we can develop greater ease and peace in our lives, and we have more to offer the world. So I want to do everything I can to support everyone here in the ways that I do, to humbly recognize that when we wake up each day, it's a profound opportunity to enter our lives with our hearts wide open and not take anything for granted. What is available to us, not to let it pass us by, not to forget to appreciate all of the things that we have going for us that are the gifts that we're in service of, not to forget to appreciate. So what I would like to do is say that we have 5 principles, right? So that help us. And last year I talked about these. So I just want to thank everyone who was here last year who may have heard some of these, but they're worth repeating. And Athena promised me that some things are worth hearing twice. So I want to just just start with this experience of living gratefully is what I have committed my life to. And the experience of it, it doesn't just happen automatically. It's not something we're taught. Our culture is not teaching us to be grateful for what we have. Where we live, most of the places in the world, we're being taught to want more and to want better and to want different, and to think that being grateful can happen sometime in the future. And that we can, when certain things happen and get fulfilled, then we will be grateful. And that's such a travesty to the day and the life that we're in, to the body that we're in, to all of what is worthy of our praise and all of what is worthy of our appreciation, and how that can come in service of the lives that we want to live. So the 5 principles and this practice of stop, let go, I'm going to kind of weave in and out here around thinking about our values and what it is that we want to bring to life through the values that we have. So the first principle is that life is a gift. And life as a gift stops us in our tracks because it is poignant to be alive. It is poignant right now to be here. And poignancy is that extraordinary experience where the preciousness of life meets the awareness of the brevity of time. If you can hold this sense that life is a gift, and it's a gift, we have no idea how long it's going to last. We have no idea. It's one of the greatest mysteries of everything that we're going to live into, is we have no idea how long is ours, the time that's ours, the life that we've been given. It's the great mystery, is that dash between the day we're born and the day we will no longer be here. And so living reverently into that little dash is to live gratefully. It's to say, life is a gift, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to greet each moment gratefully. When you greet each moment gratefully, you don't need to wait for anything to be grateful. Nothing more needs to happen. You don't need another thing. You don't need more love. You don't need more a body that's different. You don't need anything more. When you greet each moment gratefully, recognizing that the moments are our gifts. Every moment is this unexpected surprise. When you greet each moment gratefully, you are always receiving. So you don't need to wait to receive anything. You're receiving life in every single moment. So can we be grateful for that? Can we allow that to be enough to be alive today, to wake up to an unexpected day? We don't get to expect days in our lives. We get to hope for days in our lives. We get to do everything that we can to live fully the moments that we're in. But if we can really learn that life is a gift, every moment is a gift, everything isn't a gift, but every moment that we get to be alive is a gift. We can talk more about that later, the distinction between those things. Then gratefulness can be the foundation in which we experience our entire lives. And Brother David Steindl-Rast, who founded our organization, says, it's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratefulness that makes us happy. And that's a profound reality to live into. If you want to feel the well-being and the peace and the ease and the sense of abundance and opportunity that you are craving in your life, be grateful for the life that you have right now, and recognize that in that space, we are much more effective agents at making the world more and more of the place that we want it to be. It's not that we have to say that everything is just perfect as it is, but every moment is giving us an opportunity. The second principle, so first is, I'm going to keep saying them, life is a gift. Greet each moment gratefully. You are always receiving. The second one is everything is surprise. It's true. Everything is surprise. No matter how much you plan your day, if you stuff is going to happen that is going to surprise you, the expectations, the things we put into place, and everything is born into mystery. Like we are living into mystery. And even if we have the best laid plans, all kinds of things are going to happen. And in that surprise are some of the most challenging things. Like we can be afraid of surprise in some ways because difficult things happen, but we can also recognize that the greatest gifts of life often come unexpectedly, unbidden. Some of the most beautiful things. And part of what that means is staying awake to notice. So in the second principle, everything is surprise, we say, when you open to wonder, opportunities abound. If you open to wonder, if you open to curiosity, because if you treat life like it's all supposed to unfold according to your great plan, then you're not going to notice all the opportunities that are knocking, all of the things that are worthy of your amazement and awe, the things that you want to marvel at. Everything is surprise when you open to wonder, and wonder is both awe and it is also curiosity. Be open. Be curious, look around. Don't have your eyes so quickly beaded on the steps right in front of you that you miss all of the things that are begging for your attention and the things that are beckoning you to turn, that want to be appreciated. When you open to wonder, opportunities abound. This is part of looking. This is how we gain perspective, right? So we stop to notice life as a gift. We then go into seeing that everything is really lived in mystery and that we want to open to wonder. And the third principle is the ordinary is extraordinary. if you really think about it, what is ordinary? Like, honestly, what is so common that it is not worthy of your attention and your appreciation? What is so routine and so ordinary, so normal, that it's not worth being in awe about? So the truth is, our lives are filled right now. Anything that we consider ordinary is extraordinary if we look at it with different eyes. So that's all about perspective. It's not what you see, it's how you see it. That's what perspective is. Perspective isn't what you see, it's how you see it. And perspective is within the purview of our control. It's within our ability to work the spiritual musculature, to deepen and develop it so that we see differently what is all around us, what is inside us. So the ordinary is extraordinary when you take nothing for granted. This is the second part of it. Life is abundant. You won't necessarily have abundance, but life is abundant. Like, it is so full of things to be amazed about that you will be busy forever just appreciating what is ordinary around you and what we have come to regard as ordinary. Look, do we regard Zoom as ordinary now? Even sometimes a pain, even sometimes, oh, I got to get another Zoom call. It's the most extraordinary thing in the whole wide world that 20 years ago, nobody could imagine. I could not imagine 20 years ago the ability to commune with each of you right now around the world through technology that is nothing but mind-blowing. Having bodies that can all arrive into seats and be here together, it's mind-blowing, and it's meant to be. And when you live in that awestruck state, life is abundant. Life is so full and worthy of your appreciation. So the ordinary is extraordinary. Look at the natural world. Everything that lives in service of our life that this natural world is right now trying to reckon with, right? Well, our impact on the natural world. The natural world is so extraordinary, its resilience and its generosity. Our bodies are extraordinary. Your body is such a miracle. You could literally never leave the house. You would be so in awe if you just sat and took stock and took inventory of what your body is doing in every single moment to keep you alive. There's nothing ordinary about your body. Your body is so worthy of love. There's just this most beautiful quote. I'm going to see if I'm probably going to screw it up. Oh, I have it here somewhere. It's by Nayyirah Waheed. And I think it's this. My body said to me softly, I want to be your friend. No, I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. And my body said, I have been waiting my whole life for this. It's not a moment that needs to be waited. There's not another thing that needs to be different. There's nothing that needs to be changed about your body. It is so worthy of being awe-inspiring right now, as is everything that surrounds you: running water, electricity, technology, the people in your life. So to me, to be in that state of wonder, and I'll repeat a quote that I said last year, but I actually sourced it wrong, which is, there's a man named Marlon Rico Lee who said, everything that you take for granted, someone else is praying for. So truthfully, every capacity of your body, every element in your home, everything that you have in service of your life, someone somewhere is praying for, is longing for, is needing. And not to appreciate it is such a dishonoring. not to recognize it for the gift that it is, the abundance that it is, the privilege that it is a dishonoring. So grateful living is an honoring of life and all the moments that we have. So what I would love is to ask us to just have another brief meditation, because what we've done right now is gone through the first 3 principles in grateful living, and we've embraced the first 2 steps in the practice, which are stop and look. Okay, so we're stopping to recognize the gift that life is and all that is streaming towards us in every moment. And we're looking with perspective at the fact that everything is surprise and being in wonder. And we're looking at the ordinary as extraordinary and not taking anything for granted. Okay, so let's just take a few moments and just, it's so important to give ourselves time to synthesize and integrate these lessons and these deep, deep invitations. So again, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes. And we'll visit these principles in a way through a short meditation. And if you'd like, you can put your hands on your heart. And like I do all the time, I love to put my hands over my heart because I can feel my heart beating and I can also feel my lungs breathing. And I want to invite you to wake up to the miracle that your life is right now. To the absolute mind-blowing miracle that your life is right now. That to be here today means that millions of things have had to go right, and millions of things have had to not go wrong so that you could be here right now. And those millions of things, those millions of moments have just been in the past month or 2. Your whole life is a series of these miracles. All of what has conspired to allow you to still be alive and breathing right now is miraculous. Life is choosing you right now by breathing through you. Your life force is breathing you alive. In every single moment that you breathe, you are fully alive. No matter what is wrong with you, there is more right with you as long as you are breathing. Can you connect with that? The extraordinary miracle of that. And the fact that your ancestors, the fact that your grandparents, the fact that your parents, however it is that you got here, no matter how difficult, no matter how extraordinary and miraculous it all might have been, that it all happened, that you're here, you are the result of generations of having been chosen. Right here, this life, this honoring, this moment, this body, your whole life choosing you. And this moment, your gift, the unknown, extraordinary gift in this body, breathing you alive in the place that you are, with all of the opportunity and possibility of life calling you forward. And if you can connect with that feeling of just the extraordinariness of all of it and what's conspiring and has conspired to have you be here to experience this right now. This is a feeling you can connect with at any time. It is yours. It is yours in any moment that you reconnect with these truths. So I'd like you to just take a couple of seconds, just breathe and connect with a quality, a phrase or a quality that is awakened in you as a result of just taking these couple of minutes to connect with the miracle of your life, the opportunity of your life, your body, this moment. What's a quality that is awakened in you right now? And if you're moved as you kind of open your eyes and come back to the group, you could put that into chat. What's one quality that you want to remember that's possible to experience when you connect with this energy that you are right now? Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful. Warmth, calm, generosity of spirit. I like to read these: receptivity, tenderness, gratefulness. Sometimes you can't see chat when you watch these again. Love. And so when these are watched afterwards, gratefulness and love, it's important just to name what's in this space and what people are joining in when they're here. Self-love, so important as well. So I'm just going to keep going, which is in this, in the practice of stop, let go, we, on the foundation of all of what we have just lived into, which is just stopping and looking, what are we moved to do with energy that feels this grateful? What are we moved to do in the world when we feel awakened into whatever feels awakened in us? And the next two principles attend to that. And so I think one of the things that's important is that gratefulness is not a self-satisfied pacifier. Gratitude, how we think about gratitude and how it's billed to us in our culture usually, is that gratitude is kind of like the king is in his counting house, counting out his money. Oh, we're sitting at home and we're just kind of, cognizant of all of our blessings, and that's enough. And in my experience, it's not true. In my experience, in all the people I work with, in all the moments that I've been alive, the more grateful I feel, the more I am moved to want to share that, to make a difference for other people. I am moved literally to move into my life with a sense of, I want to make a difference. I want the world to be better for other people. I want to share what I have. I want to do something about this. So gratefulness wants to be active. It wants to be fully expressed. And when we don't express something, it's dead to us. It's not, we have to live into the things that matter to us so much. So the thing that is, I'm gonna read a little something that I wrote here. The go in Stop, Let Go says, don't wait to feel more grateful to do something about it. The gift in every moment that we're alive is the gift of opportunity. The coast is clear. Seize this moment, this day. Don't wait to feel more courageous to show your appreciation. Doing so can give you the courage you've been waiting for. Don't wait to be more clear before you say something grateful to someone. Saying something makes you more clear. Don't wait to do something to invest in what you value. Doing something makes your values come alive and reinforces your care. Be creative. Use whatever is available to you in service of what you love. It will come back to you 100-fold. So the thing about the next value is, the next principle, excuse me, is that we all need to know that we matter. We all need to know that we matter. And so one of the most painful things is that when we feel taken for granted, I don't know if any of you can connect with the experience of feeling taken for granted. I can. That basically I show up and it's like, I can't quite tell that it matters that I'm here. I can't quite tell that it matters that I'm doing what I do. And when I feel taken for granted, it's the most deadening feeling in the world. When I feel appreciated, it's the most enlivening feeling in the world. It's encouraging, it's motivating. So we need to share our appreciation. And I love to say, everything flourishes in the nourishment of our appreciation. Everything flourishes in the nourishment of our appreciation. Just look at two plants, appreciate one, don't appreciate the other, and see what happens. People are like that. Everything in our lives is like that. Everything has the capacity to be responsive to our care. So the most beautiful thing is when we live like that, we flourish, we thrive. When you live through that sense of appreciation, you come alive. So I'm just going to take a few more minutes and go through these, Athena. I hope it's okay that I'm going a little bit over. Good. So the fourth principle is appreciation is generative. Appreciation makes things happen. It makes things come alive. Not just people, everything, when you appreciate those things. So when you tend what you value, your values thrive. So knowing what you value is core. And it's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. And I've left it a little bit too much to the end, but it's okay. We can talk about it more afterwards. But values are core foundational touchstones for our lives. They're everything. And they mean everything, because when we are steeped in our values, when we know what we stand for, we can be in alignment, right? We can have integrity. When you don't know what you stand for and know what your values are, those core, deepest kinds of principles and the core, deepest, your greatest heart, the places where your heart comes most alive. What are the things that you're most passionate about? When you know what those things are and you tend them, it's an active thing. So appreciation is a verb. To appreciate is a verb, like loving is a verb. It's active. If you have a value, it should be known by everyone around you. If you value something, it should be known. And it should be obvious. And we have the opportunity to live into alignment for what the things are that we value. I don't know if you guys know this kind of horrible, awful quote Gloria Steinem said, which, she said, if you want to know what your values are, look at your checkbook. That's terrifying. And what it means is that where we put our resources, where we allocate our resources, and our resources are not just money, our resources are time, our resources are gifts, talent, right? I talk about 4 pockets. We have time, we have talent, skills, gifts, whatever we want to give. We have money, and we also have our relationships, our networks, the people who matter to us. We have different things that we can bring in service of what we value. But if we're not investing in what we value, it actually, when those things don't thrive, and if they die, we have not taken responsibility. And I want to give just a really quick example, which is a really dear friend of mine who owned a store in the town where I live. And it was the most beautiful gift store. And in COVID, she went out of business. And I thought to myself, God, I am so tragically upset that she's no longer around and she had to give up her store. And what I realized, I had stopped going to stores. You know, it was terrifying during COVID. Even when things got lighter, I kept ordering through Amazon. And when her business went out of business, I realized that I had not been tending what I value, because therefore, when she disappeared, I felt complicit in that. And that's a heavy thing to say, but like, how are we showing up for the things that we most love and most value? How are we investing? Values are freely chosen. These are the qualities of values. Values are freely chosen. Values are public, which means that we are not afraid. We don't hold them private. Our values are things that we espouse and we live by. So values are acted upon. That's the third thing. Those are the three things that I always say about values. They are freely chosen. They are public, which means that we're willing to talk about them. We're willing to defend them. We're willing to uphold them. We're willing to take a stand for them. And we act upon them in our daily lives. That's what makes them come to life. So when you tend what you value thrives, is the litmus test for us about the degree to which we are showing up for the things that we value in our daily lives. And it's a powerful, beautiful call to action to show up for the things that we value, and to look at our checkbooks, and to look at how we allocate our time, and to look at how we allocate our love, and to look at what we talk to the people in our lives about. What are we talking about? Are we talking about our deepest values? And if so, then we're tending them, and it's making appreciation generative to make the world that we want to make. And that's the invitation. So I'm going to actually save the final principle till after Athena. I hand it over to Athena, because this feels like a really beautiful opportunity to share with Athena a little time and space to be able to ride on the wave of appreciating what we value.
Oh my goodness. I do feel like I'm riding on a wave right now, Kristi. I'm so moved. It's actually hard for me to even speak in the moment, because I just feel like you've expressed so much that I needed to hear today. And I have the feeling that probably everyone is feeling that right now. It's a time in our world where we don't often pause to appreciate and to express our values. You know, I just love what you just said about values, that they're freely chosen, that they're public, we espouse them, we live them, we uphold them, and that we act upon them. Gosh, it's a time we really need to hear that. I feel it so personally, and I also feel it as an active citizen in the world, not a bystander, that it is a time for us to live our values. And I also loved what you said about looking at how we allocate our time and our love and our resources, that shows our value. So yeah, I'm just in a moment of feeling very moved. And personally, I'll talk about this personally in the moment, that I have chosen to spend much of my time and love and resources on the Women's Impact Alliance. And the reason I do that is because my values are really expressed by this organization and by Jane, our amazing founder, and her vision, and actually by the people who are on the call today, because I don't know everyone on the call, but I recognize a lot of our coaches who volunteer their time and their love to work with our amazing catalysts, the young women who are in social impact, who have dedicated their lives to changing the world. And I also see many of those women on the call today. And I also see some of our donors who, some of them are coaches and some of them are catalysts and some of them are members of the community. So everyone actually on our call today is expressing their values with some form of their love, time, resources. So gosh, it just feels so resonant. And what I do want to do too, many of you know, because you've seen a lot of the emails that we've sent out, that we are right in the middle of a fundraiser. And the way I think about fundraising, a lot of people hate to do fundraising, but the way I actually really think about it, and I learned this from a good friend of Kristi's, Lynn Twist, is that giving money to organizations you believe in is a way of living your values. And I fully believe that. So when I ask you who are on the call today, and when I ask through email, or when I ask my friends and colleagues if they will join me in contributing to the Women's Impact Alliance, I feel like I'm inviting people to express their values. I really, really do. And that's why I donate my time and love and money, because it's a way I can really live my values. And I do espouse it all the time, as I'm doing now. So I want to just take this moment. Charlie, would you put the link in the chat where if people feel moved to donate, this is an opportunity for you to do it. And, we're a grassroots organization. Half of our budget is brought in through people like you, people like us who are on the call. And so I really invite you to donate if you feel able, any amount, because any amount makes a difference to us as a small grassroots organization. So just want to make that invitation and leave it at that. And I want to also we're not done yet. We still have time.
Don't go.
So stay here. And I just want to take a moment for all of us just to send Kristi oceans of love and gratefulness for being with us today. Your gift is so big and so generous. So thank you. And so love in your direction, sister. So
Wow.
God, we're going to take some time. Well, you were going to do your
I'm
last.
going to last one.
So go for it.
There might be some questions, but let me just, oh my God, Athena. Well, first of all, I'm going to say, I'm going to make a donation because I'm so, I'm volunteering my time, but that's really, this is how I show up for the things that matter to me. And I think, philanthropy is love of humankind. When we give anything of ourselves, it's love, right? And what I believe and how I talk about it alongside Lynn Twist is that it's partnership to advance shared values. When we find organizations and businesses, and heaven forbid politicians, whatever, whoever we find who shares our values and where there's a core value set in common, that when we give of ourselves, we're partnering to advance those values into the world. And we're saying that not any of us can do it alone. We need each other. And so I'm honored to make a gift to that campaign. So thank you, Athena, for asking so beautifully and for your appreciation of me.
Thank you, Kristi.
Welcome. So it's really important not to lose the last principle. The last principle is love is transformative. And love, right? Giving is a form of love. It's so important. So the second part of that is when you embrace the great fullness of life, your heart overflows. Love is transformative. So when you think about appreciation is generative, love is transformative. It's the thing that comes in after the appreciation. It's like, live your heart out loud. Live what you care for out loud. Do not hold back. Don't wait for a wake-up call. I had a wake-up call of stage 4 cancer at 32 years old. That brought me to life in a new and different way and made me not take my life for granted. Wake up every day with that awareness. Don't wait for that. Love is beckoning you. The world needs this love. Everything you do can be channeled through your love. It's like, it's time to stop apologizing for love. It's not a weak word. It's not a weak way of being. It's the most powerful force in the world. And when we can mobilize it together, it is a source of transformation. So when you embrace the great fullness of life, that means when you are willing to walk into pain, to walk into fire, to walk into hard situations, to go towards the things that beg for your heart will overflow and you will be directed where you need to go. So I'm going to read another little thing and then we'll have hopefully a couple of minutes for questions. Every day you're here gives you, and I just wrote this in preparation for our call, but I can't remember it, so I'm just going to read it. Every day you are here gives you the opportunity of a lifetime. Every day gives you a lifetime of opportunity and the chance to live your legacy now. Your legacy isn't down the road. Your legacy is what you do and how you live your values today. If you don't do it now, it's not going to come after we're here. So my ask of you is this: live as if this day is precious and it's all you have, because it is. Live as if you have no idea how much time is ahead of you, because you don't. Live as if taking nothing for granted can make you come more alive. It can. And live as if living gratefully can bring you into connection with most everything that truly matters, because it does. My ask of you: don't wait to be grateful. Don't wait to show your appreciation. Don't wait for regrets and missed opportunities to teach you that following your heart and living your legacy now matters more than anything. This is gratefulness. This is gratefulness. It is the great fullness of life being met by the great fullness of your heart. That is all it is. And it's everything that it is. Be awake for it. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristi. We do have a couple minutes for questions, so I'd love, Amber, you want to explain how we're going to do that? We might only have one question, but I'm sure it will be a fantastic.
we have 6 minutes and no pressure.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Whew. If you want to ask a question, of course, feel free to come off mute. The quickest, easiest way to do this is to go ahead and go to your reactions and raise your hand there. If you have the newest version of Zoom, you can also just raise your hand and it will pop up. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask, or comments, anything. I know. Okay, Mariti, go ahead.
Hi Amber.
Hi.
Hi Kristi. Thank you so much for this amazing session. I'm still processing everything.
Great. I hope you do for forever.
Yeah, exactly. This is an ongoing work. This is something I'm going to have to work on daily. As you were speaking, there were two emotions that came up, trying to pull me away from gratitude into something else.
Beautiful.
And I was wondering, how do you handle those? Yes. So the first was fear, because you said, we need to be grateful that being here today, there were things that allowed us to be here, and there are things that haven't happened in the world to make sure that we are here. So maybe kind of the bad things that could have happened but hasn't happened, and we're grateful for them. So how do you stay away from that fear of all of these things that, in order to be grateful, I need to also understand what all of the things that could have gone wrong for me to be here today. So that's kind of where my head was taking me on one hand. And then on the other hand, on the other side, that all of us here work in social impact. All of us here are living our values. All of us here are trying to correct injustices, perhaps. And actually I sometimes say I'm being ungrateful and saying I work for women's rights. So I want to be ungrateful about the current rights I have and work for more, and for my sisters who have less of that. And how do we bring gratefulness with the ungratefulness that is needed for the type of work that we're doing? Those were kind of the two things in 4 minutes. Here we go.
Okay, and those are two big questions that are probably on a lot of other people's minds as well. I think one of the things is the recognition, your first question about the fear, it's that recognition of how much we don't know is going to unfold in life, right? And how much we haven't been in control of so much of what has unfolded in our lives. And for me, I think there's something really important to recognize that there's a beautiful poem by Jane Kenyon called Otherwise, that it could always will and will be someday otherwise, that we are here by this kind of grace that is allowing us to be here right now. And for me to hold all the possibilities, there's a lot of beautiful sayings that are about basically keeping death in our awareness is the way to come most fully alive. That when we actually recognize that we're mortal and that we're impermanent and that not everybody who wanted to be here today is here, puts us in right relationship to life because it's what's true. And otherwise we're kind of swimming in denial and swimming through the world as if, right? So I choose to look squarely and look soberly at the fact that there is so much that could go wrong, has gone wrong, could have gone wrong, might go wrong, all of those things that will take me out of life. And that makes me so much more alive into the moments that I have. That's my choice. And that idea of keep death always before your eyes is so much more Buddhist than it is Western, and so much more, it's so much more this awareness of we're impermanent. And what are we going to do about that? So I choose that balance and holding that. And then your second one, it's really important. And I did say something in the last video from last year that I will repeat because I think it's important, which is I've also been a social activist. Social justice, my whole life has been important to me, changing the world and changing the world for the better. And I've done that in lots of different ways. And one of the ways that I'm suggesting it's possible for us to be motivated is to be motivated from that place of when we are in touch with what we're grateful for, when you feel that love for women, the love for women that is so vast and big that it's kind of uncontainable, and it just makes you have to do something about it every single day to protect, to defend. That's what gratefulness is. When you know what you value, you will do anything to uphold and protect and advance that value. And so I have come also in this place of myself that's come also from pushing away, and I think it's important to know, wait a minute, we are being sold short. Wait a minute, I know what I'm grateful for, and it's opportunity. And when opportunity is being denied people, then that's unacceptable to me, because my gratitude for opportunity is so vast, and my appreciation and value of it, it knows no bounds, and it needs to be extended to all people. Life is a gift for all people. I will take it for all people. And so my sense of justice and righteousness comes deeply from that wellspring, because that wellspring for me is sustainable, and it moves me to do things like lift the Volkswagen off the puppy. It's like things that you can't imagine you could ever do come from a heart that is so on fire for what's right and so appreciative of what's worthy of our appreciation that it's not able to be forgotten. And so what I said last time that I'll just repeat again is, I do not betray my concerns for the world when I fill my eyes with wonder and my heart with love and joy. I actually nourish my capacity to attend to those concerns. And everyone deserves that love and that joy and that wonder to be able to attend to the things that are difficult in life. And I often have felt guilty in my life when I have let myself come from that place of feeling, of connecting to my privileges, of connecting to what I appreciate. And yet that's what I think the world needs so much, and so many people are longing for, is social justice activism that's rooted in that heart of gratefulness and doesn't shy from it and models what's possible from that place.
Wow, that's such a beautiful message for our community. Kristi, Mirat, thank you for asking your question.
Thank you. I hope I answered it okay.
Beautiful message for our community. It's time to close our time together, but I want to say a couple things. I put in the chat my amazing partner, Rocco, and he's also the treasurer of WIA, has offered to buy anybody a book who sends him an email with your name and address. His email is right there in the chat. You can see it. I'll write it again just in case it's disappeared. Ernie.
Thank you, Rocco.
Ernie.com.
Go Ernie.
Go
Stop, look, go Ernie.
Ernie. Ernie at goernie.com. If you send him an email, he will personally send you a book from Kristi. Rocco is the reason I know Kristi. They work together in another, and the nonprofit
And Grateful Living
has been the executive director for many, many years. So that's
and you can learn more and read more on grateful.org. Just to say, it's really important. There's a lot more resources here, practices, everything, sign up for stuff. It's a very grateful.org.
Yes, in fact, someone asked about a meditation from Kristi, and I think there are meditations on grateful.org, right?
There are.
Yes.
There's the 5 principles, each have a beautiful meditation connected to those. You're right on the homepage, the top of the homepage. It's so
perfect.
beautiful.
So that's the answer to someone who asked about that. I think it was.
Woohoo! We answered another question, and it's only 1:03. We better go.
I know. And one last thing, someone also asked, I think it was Needy, about like posting that you could frame quotes and things. So I'm just going to say another book that Kristi wrote is called The Gratitude Explorer Workbook. And it has so many beautiful pages of quotes that you can tear out and hang up. And it also has, even for those of us who are sticker fans, it even has stickers that you can take out and put on things. Kristi has thought of everything.
So yes, I hope that's fun. You find that intriguing. My inner 16-year-old, my inner 14-year-old. Okay, my inner 7-year-old just loves that stuff.
Had to have stickers. So thank you, everyone. I know we're past the top of the hour. Thank you so much, Kristi. You are such a model of generosity and gratefulness, and we are so appreciative of you and all that you bring to us and to the world. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who came. Thank you for the work you're doing in the world, and be well, everybody, and be
Keep in touch.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Be well.
Bye, everyone.